Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The studio lights were brighter than ever that morning, but something felt different, quieter, heavier, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. For more than 2 decades, Live had been a place of laughter, spilled coffee, playful banter, and unscripted humanity. And at its center stood Kelly Ripa. Small in stature, enormous in presence, her smile a daily ritual for millions. No one was ready for what came next. The audience filed in as usual, clutching their passes, buzzing with excitement. Some had traveled across states, even countries, just to see her in person. A few wore homemade shirts that read, "Kelly Forever," and "Thank you for the mornings." They didn't know why they felt emotional before the show even began. They just did. When the theme music played, the applause was thunderous, longer than normal. Kelly stepped out radiant as always, but her eyes shimmered in a way that immediately set off alarms in the hearts of those who knew her best. She paused, just for a fraction of a second, and placed a hand over her chest. That pause, so brief, yet so loaded, would be replayed millions of times in the days to come. "Good morning," she said, her voice warm but unsteady. The words were familiar, comforting, and suddenly terrifying. She smiled, glanced around the room, and took it all in. The audience, the cameras, the crew who had become family. Her co-host sat beside her, sensing what was coming, offering a supportive nod. The producers behind the cameras exchanged looks. This wasn't in the rundown. Kelly began the show as she always did, with humor, a quick joke, a light story. The audience laughed, grateful for the normalcy. But beneath the laughter, there was an undercurrent of something else, a tremor. About 15 minutes in, Kelly took a breath that seemed to come from somewhere deep, somewhere guarded. "I want to talk to you about something," she said. The room fell silent. She didn't rush. Kelly never rushed moments that mattered. She folded her hands together, fingers trembling just slightly, and looked directly into the camera, the same camera she had spoken to for thousands of mornings, through pregnancies, personal losses, world events, and moments of pure joy. "This show," she began, "has been my home for a very long time." A murmur rippled through the audience. "I came here as a young woman who had no idea what she was doing, and you let me grow up with you. You let me make mistakes. You let me laugh too loud, cry on air, overshare a lot." A few laughs broke through the tension, followed quickly by sniffles. Kelly's eyes glistened now, no longer hiding the truth. "For years, you invited me into your homes, into your kitchens, your bedrooms, your hospital rooms, your hardest days and your happiest ones, and I never took that lightly, not once." Her voice cracked. Somewhere in the audience, a woman covered her mouth with both hands, another wiped tears before they could fall. "This wasn't an easy decision, and it's not goodbye forever, but it is goodbye to this chapter. And today is my last day sitting right here." The words landed like a collective heartbreak. Gasps echoed through the studio. Tears flowed freely now, unrestrained, unashamed. Even the crew, trained to remain invisible, couldn't hide their emotion. A cameraman lowered his lens for a moment, blinking back tears. Kelly reached for a tissue, laughing through her tears. "I told myself I wouldn't cry. I always do that. I always say that." The audience laughed with her, a shared release of pain and love. She spoke then about the people who had shaped her journey, the co-hosts who became brothers, the producers who believed in her voice, the crew who showed up before dawn every day with coffee and kindness. She spoke about her family, about mornings she rushed from the studio to school pickups, about learning how to balance ambition and motherhood in real time on national television. "This show taught me that perfection is overrated, that showing up honestly matters more, and that connection, real connection, is everything." As the show continued, clips played on the screen behind her. A younger Kelly laughing uncontrollably, Kelly dancing on Halloween, Kelly comforting guests through grief, Kelly celebrating milestones. Each clip felt like a heartbeat, a reminder of time slipping through fingers. At one point, Kelly stood and turned to the audience. She walked closer to them than she ever had before, breaking the invisible barrier between stage and seats. "You saved me more times than you'll ever know," she said quietly. "On days when life was heavy, when I wasn't sure I had anything left to give, you showed up. You watched, you listened, you laughed with me."
The final minutes of the show approached faster than anyone wanted. The clock in the studio seemed cruel, relentless. Kelly returned to her seat for one last sign-off. "I don't believe in endings," she said. "I believe in evolution, in courage, in knowing when it's time to step into something new, even when it hurts." She paused, struggling now to find the words. Her voice softened to almost a whisper. "Thank you for trusting me with your mornings. Thank you for loving me exactly as I am. I will carry you with me, always." The audience rose to their feet, applause crashing like waves. It went on, refusing to fade. Kelly stood, hand over her heart, tears streaming freely now. She bowed her head, overwhelmed, humbled. As the cameras pulled back, she gave one final look into the lens, the look fans knew so well. Grateful, vulnerable, real. "Until we meet again," she said. The screen faded to black. Within minutes, social media erupted. Clips of her farewell spread across the globe. Fans from New York to London, from small towns to bustling cities, shared their heartbreak and gratitude. Comments poured in. "You were my comfort during chemo. I grew up with you. Thank you for making mornings feel less lonely." People cried at their desks, on buses, in quiet bedrooms. It wasn't just the end of a show. It was the end of a shared ritual, a daily reminder that warmth and humor could exist even on the hardest days. Kelly Ripa didn't just host a morning show. She held space. She showed up. She made millions feel seen. And though her chair on Live now sits empty, her voice echoes on, proof that some goodbyes, no matter how painful, are really just love refusing to fade. The world sobbed that day, but it also said thank you.